can you start out by how do you assess that the defense did overall in that first game, especially considering that you didn't have any live tackling before you went into the game?
I believe that we had too many mental errors. The effort was there. You can tell that we have guys that love the game of football and love to play. For us, it's just about dialing in and not beating ourselves.
Jaylon, what changes for you moving to the middle linebacker spot?
Say that again.
What changes for you moving back to the play call or playing the mic again? With Leighton out, does anything change?
I mean, that's incorrect. I don't play Mike linebacker. I play Will. But as far as calling the plays, I mean, I've been calling plays for the last 2 years, so it's really my comfort zone. Just happy to lead the defense, and we got to do whatever it takes. We got to do whatever it takes to win.
So are you going to stay at Will then, Jaylon, or are you moving to Mike? I guess we're a little confused.
I mean, what did everybody tell you?
Well, I think the question is, Jaylon, because you filled in at Mike when Leighton went out, is Joe Thomas going to take that spot, or are you going to stay at Will? Or are you going to move over like you did in this game?
Yeah, I'm a Will linebacker. I'm a Will linebacker. I'm sorry.
So Jaylon, you're the Will, but you're going to call the signals. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I've been calling the plays for the past 2 years, so there's nothing changed. It's all love. It's a blessing.
How have you adjusted? Because you lose Leighton as you did last year toward the end of the year. You lose him again at the early part of the season. Sean Lee's been hurt. How have you been able to adjust to the different partners you've had at that position?
For one, I love all of those guys, and really praying for their health and to come back stronger. When a linebacker core, it's all about chemistry, and especially me being out there with another linebacker. We have to get our rhythm together. And Leighton, me having to play with a couple other guys, just takes a little time for us to get our rhythm. So that's what me and Joe Thomas are working on this week. Just dialing in, locking in everything. The beautiful thing is we got guys that can play at the linebacker position. We have depth. All these guys that can play. So, we're locked in and we're ready.
Jaylon, you obviously just practiced against Zeke, not play against him, but what's the biggest challenge for a linebacker who's trying to stop Zeke?
Zeke, he's so versatile. He can stop on a dime, and then he's a bowling ball when you have to tackle him. Always falling forward, low gravity, low to the surface. Not really a lot of wasted movement. Zeke, so many challenges occur when you have to face Zeke. So, which attests to all the success that he continues to have. So it's great to be his teammate.
His teammates on offense talk a lot about how cerebral he is in the game, knowing where all his end needs to be. How have you seen that in maybe larger team meetings or just conversations about football with Zeke?
Say that again? I'm sorry.
His teammates on offense talk about how cerebral Zeke is in the game, knowing where all they need to line up and helping getting them set up.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had conversations with him about the game, and what have you seen from him in terms of his football IQ?
Yeah, I think he's a guy that's just continued to grow. He continues to grow. He's a sponge. Soaks everything in. And it's always fun chatting with him about different ways, for us to make each other better.
What are some of the challenges the Falcons present to you this week?
Vertical passing presence. Obviously having Julio Jones and in their whole core, they like to get after it throwing the ball. Matt Ryan, I think, of 450 yards last week or something like that. and then with the new addition of Todd Gurley, the number one thing we must do is stop the run. So we're locked in. We got a solid game plan, and at the end of the day, it comes down to execution. So for us, we don't want to beat ourselves. We want to play solid, clean, and physical Dallas Cowboys football.
You've seen Alden's whole training camp, but seeing what he did in his first game in 5 years, after 5 years away from the NFL, how do you describe what you saw him do out there in that opener?
I mean, Alden's a baller. He's always been a baller. He just reminded everybody after being away for, 4 or 5 years.
Jaylon, forgive me, but I just want to get some clarity here. So, were you calling the plays this year, or was Leighton?
This was Leighton's first year calling the plays, and then, but then he went out, and I took over.
And you're going to continue taking over. I just want to get some clarity here.
I ain't the boss, but I'm ready for whatever, whatever the coaches, whatever the team asks me to do, I'm gonna do. Being a leader of the defense. What do you say?
Have they asked you to do it this week?
I will be calling the plays. If that's your question.
Hey, Jaylon, Coach McCarthy was talking to us this morning about Trayvon Diggs' poise at the cornerback position. I just wondered your impressions of him so far through a few weeks since training camp started.
Yeah, I mean, Trayvon is he loves the game of football, and he's locked in. He wants to compete. He's not scared of anybody, and he's ready to ball. He's gonna be a star in this league.